Have you ever wondered if what you see, think and feel is actually your own choice? It seems as if the universe led you here at this very moment to discover the hidden mechanisms of the mind. Welcome to our video, in which we explore the fascinating world of controlled perceptions, thoughts and feelings. In a world flooded with information and stimuli, it is crucial to understand how our perceptions, thoughts and feelings can be controlled. This control not only affects our decisions, but also our entire way of life. Whether through media, advertising or social interactions, we are constantly exposed to influences that aim to shape and manipulate our inner worlds. In this video, we will dive deep into the mechanisms that affect our mental processes. You will learn how the brain processes sensory impressions, how thoughts arise and how emotions can be controlled by external influences. We will examine the role of the subconscious and discover how habits characterize our thinking and feeling. Our goal is to give you the tools and knowledge to recognize and control these influences. You will learn how to protect yourself from manipulation and how to create a supportive environment that promotes your mental freedom. We will introduce you to inspiring success stories from people who have successfully controlled their perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. Now that you know what to expect, let's dive into this exciting journey together. Next, we will talk about the basics of perceptions, thoughts, and feelings and how they interact with each other. Join us on this path and discover the deep secrets of your mind. Perceptions, thoughts and feelings are the basic building blocks of our mental and emotional experience. But what exactly do these terms mean and how do they differ from each other? Perceptions are the sensory impressions that we receive from our environment. They arise when our senses, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touching, absorb stimuli from our environment and our brain interprets these stimuli. These interpretations shape our reality and determine how we perceive the world around us. Thoughts, on the other hand, are the mental processes that arise from our perceptions, memories and ideas. They are what happens in our minds when we think about the information we have received through our senses. Thoughts can be conscious, like when we actively think about a problem, or unconsciously, as with automatic reactions or beliefs that are deeply rooted in our subconscious. Feelings are the emotional reactions triggered by our thoughts and perceptions. They are the subjective experiences we have in response to certain situations or thoughts. Feelings can be positive, such as joy and love, or negative, such as fear and anger. They strongly influence how we react to our environment and how we make decisions. These three elements, perceptions, thoughts and feelings, constantly interact with each other and influence each other. A certain perception can trigger a thought, which in turn evokes a feeling. For example, seeing a beautiful landscape, perception, can trigger a thought of a happy moment in the past, thought, and a feeling of joy, feeling. Likewise, thoughts and feelings can influence our perception. For example, when we are anxious, feeling, we tend to perceive the world as more threatening. In the context of intellectual control, these interactions are of great importance. By understanding how our perceptions, thoughts and feelings are connected, we can learn to deal with them more consciously and specifically. We can begin to control the way we react to the world and protect ourselves from external influences that try to manipulate our mental processes. Now that we have a basic understanding of what perceptions, thoughts and feelings are and how they interact with each other, we want to examine the science behind perception next. We will find out how the brain processes and interprets sensory impressions, and which mechanisms are used to influence our perception. Join us on this fascinating journey of discovery. Perception is a complex process in which the brain processes and interprets sensory impressions to create a coherent picture of reality. This ability of the brain to absorb and interpret information from the environment is fundamental to our understanding of the world and our behavior in it. How the brain processes and interprets sensory impressions. The process of perception begins with the absorption of stimuli through our sensory organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These stimuli are converted into electrical signals and sent to the brain via the nervous system. The brain processes these signals in various specialized regions. For example, visual information is processed in the visual cortex, while auditory information is processed in the auditory cortex. The brain interprets these signals by comparing them with existing information, memories, and experiences. This interpretation is not always objective, but is influenced by our expectations, beliefs, and context. A well-known example is the pareidoly, in which the brain recognizes faces or meaningful patterns in random stimuli. The influence of neural networks and synapses. Neural networks and synapses play a decisive role in the processing and interpretation of sensory impressions. Neurons are the basic building blocks of the nervous system that transmit electrical signals via synapses, the connecting points between neurons. These networks are highly dynamic and plastic, which means that they can constantly change based on our experiences and learning processes. Synaptic plasticity, the ability of the synapses to change their strength, is crucial for learning and memory. When we learn something new or have a new experience, new synaptic connections are formed or existing connections are strengthened. These changes influence how we perceive and interpret future sensory impressions. Examples of the manipulation of perception. 1. Optical illusions. Optical illusions are classic examples of how the brain misinterprets sensory impressions. A well-known example is the Muller-Lyer illusion, in which two lines of the same length appear in different lengths due to the differently aligned arrowheads. These deceptions show that the brain uses assumptions and heuristics to process visual information, which can lead to misinterpretations. 2. Cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions are systematic errors in the way of thinking that influence our perception and interpretation of reality. An example is the confirmation bias, in which people tend to interpret and search for information in such a way that they confirm their existing beliefs. These distortions can be reinforced by various factors such as emotions, social influences, and bias. 3. Example from advertising. Advertising often uses subtle techniques to manipulate our perception. A well-known example is the use of subliminal messages that are below the threshold of consciousness, but can still influence our purchasing decisions. These techniques aim to create unconscious associations that guide our behavior. By understanding these processes, we can begin to become aware of the manipulations that affect our perception and develop strategies to recognize and question them. Next, we will focus on thought control and manipulation. We will examine how thoughts arise and develop, and which techniques and methods are used for mind control. Continue to join us on this exciting journey into the depths of the human mind. Thoughts are the building blocks of our spiritual life. They are created by the processing of information that we absorb through our senses and our inner experience. But how exactly do thoughts arise and how can they be manipulated? How thoughts arise and develop. Thoughts arise from the complex interaction between different parts of the brain, including the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for complex thinking and decision-making, and the limbic system that processes emotional reactions. When we absorb, process and evaluate information, thoughts arise from it. These thoughts can be conscious and intentional, as when we think about a problem, or unconsciously and automatically, as with reflexive reactions and deeply rooted beliefs. Thoughts develop over time through experiences, learning and social interactions. They are influenced by our memories, emotions, and the context in which we are. Repeated thoughts can form into beliefs, which then influence our perception of reality and our behavior. Techniques and methods of mind control. Mind control can be done in various ways, often through subtle and indirect methods that influence our perception and thinking without us consciously noticing it. 1. Media. Media is a powerful tool for mind control. News, movies, TV shows, and social media can influence our beliefs and attitudes by highlighting certain information and neglecting others. The way news is presented can shape our perception of events and our opinion on certain topics. 2. Advertising. Advertising uses psychology and neuroscience to influence our thinking and behavior. Through repeated messages and emotional stimuli, advertising tries to create positive associations with certain products or services. Techniques such as storytelling and the use of celebrities can manipulate our opinions and purchase decisions. 3. Propaganda. Propaganda is a targeted and systematic method of influencing public opinion. It is often used by governments or organizations to achieve political goals. Propaganda uses techniques such as repetition, simplification of complex topics, and emotional appeals to shape beliefs and behaviors. Psychological theories for mind control. Various psychological theories offer explanations for how thoughts can be controlled and manipulated. 1. Behaviorism. Behaviorism, represented by scientists such as B.F. Skinner, emphasizes the importance of reinforcement and punishment in the control of behavior. Thoughts and behaviors can be shaped by rewards and punishments. In advertising, this is used, for example, through offers and discounts to control buying behavior. 2. Cognitivism. Cognitivism, represented by scientists such as Jean Piaget and Aaron Beck, focuses on the inner mental processes that shape our thoughts and beliefs. This theory emphasizes how people process, interpret, and store information. Cognitive distortions, such as the confirmation error, can be used to strengthen beliefs and guide thoughts. 3. Social learning theory. Albert Bandura's social learning theory emphasizes the importance of model learning. People learn by observing and imitating the behavior of others. Media and advertising use this theory by using role models and celebrities whose behavior and opinions are to be imitated. By understanding these techniques and theories, we can begin to recognize the influences on our thoughts and critically question them. This allows us to make more conscious and independent decisions. Next, we will focus on controlling and manipulating emotions. We will investigate how emotions arise, how they can be controlled by external influences, and what mechanisms of emotional manipulation exist. Continue to join us on this journey into the depths of the human mind. Emotions are powerful driving forces of our behavior and significantly influence how we perceive and react to the world. But how do emotions arise, and how can they be controlled by external influences? The origin and function of emotions. Emotions are created by the complex interaction of the brain, body, and environment. They are psychophysiological reactions to internal and external stimuli, which are controlled by the limbic system in the brain, especially the amygdala. These reactions can be triggered by the release of neurotransmitters and hormones such as adrenaline and dopamine. Emotions fulfill important functions. They help us to react to threats, e.g. fear, to promote social ties, e.g. love, and to adapt our behavior to our environment. Emotions are also essential for decision-making, as they give us important hints about what is important or dangerous for us. How emotions can be controlled by external influences. Emotions can be controlled and manipulated by a variety of external influences. Here are some examples. 1. Music. Music has the remarkable ability to act directly on our emotional center in the brain. Different music genres and melodies can evoke specific emotions. A cheerful, fast rhythm can trigger joy and energy, while slow, melancholic melodies can promote sadness and thoughtfulness. Film music uses this technique to enhance the emotional effect of scenes. 2. Movies. Movies combine visual and auditory elements to create strong emotional reactions. The plot, the characters, the music, and the camera work together to put the viewers in a certain emotional mood. Horror films, for example, use suspense and surprising horror moments to create fear, while romantic films often evoke positive emotions such as love and happiness. 3. Social interactions. Our emotions are strongly influenced by our social interactions. Conversations with friends, family members, or colleagues can cause joy, anger, sadness, or surprise. Social media enhances this effect by promoting emotional reactions to posts, comments, and messages. Likes, shares, and comments can trigger positive emotions such as confirmation and recognition, while negative comments or the feeling of being excluded can trigger negative emotions. Mechanisms of emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is the conscious influence of emotions in order to promote certain behaviors or to guide decisions. Here are some mechanisms that are used. 1. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and influence one's own and others' emotions. People with high emotional intelligence can use this ability to control the emotions of others. In management positions or in sales, emotional intelligence can be used to gain trust and influence decisions. 2. Marketing strategies. Marketing specifically uses emotional stimuli to sell products and services. Advertising often uses images, stories, and music that evoke positive emotions such as joy, nostalgia, or security. These emotional associations are then linked to the advertised products. An example is the use of happy families in commercials to create positive feelings and strengthen the desire for the advertised products. 3. Propaganda. Propaganda uses emotional manipulation to achieve political or social goals. By repeating messages, using symbols, and generating fear or hope, propaganda can direct public emotions and opinions. This can lead to people supporting or rejecting certain political views, often without critical review of the information. By understanding how emotions arise and can be influenced, we can better protect ourselves from emotional manipulation and make more conscious decisions. Now that we have understood the mechanisms of emotional influence, we want to devote ourselves next to the role of the subconscious. We will investigate how the subconscious influences perceptions, thoughts, and feelings, and which methods for manipulating the subconscious exist. Continue to join us on this journey into the depths of the human mind. The subconscious plays a central role in shaping our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. It is a powerful part of our mind, which often works unnoticed in the background and still has a decisive influence on our behavior and our decisions. Definition and meaning of the subconscious. The subconscious includes all processes of the mind that run below the threshold of consciousness. These processes are not directly accessible or controllable through our conscious thinking. Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, described the subconscious as a huge store for memories, emotions, beliefs, and automatic behaviors. It is the place where all our experiences and impressions are stored, even if we cannot actively remember it. The subconscious significantly influences how we see the world, how we react to different situations, and what decisions we make. It controls many of our automatic reactions and habits and often works without our conscious knowledge. Since it is so deeply rooted in our spiritual life, the subconscious can shape our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings in a subtle and often invisible way. How the subconscious influences perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. The subconscious influences our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings in many ways. It filters the information we absorb from our environment and decides which of it enters our consciousness. This filtering is based on our previous experiences, beliefs, and emotional states. For example, someone with a deeply rooted fear of dogs can perceive any dog encounter as threatening, even if the dog is harmless. Thoughts and feelings are also strongly influenced by the subconscious. Many of our automatic thoughts and emotional reactions are the result of unconscious beliefs and memories. These unconscious processes can reinforce positive or negative thought patterns and shape our emotional reaction to different situations. A deeply rooted belief in one's own inadequacy can, for example, lead to the fact that one often feels insecure or anxious, even in situations where there is no obvious reason to worry. Methods for manipulating the subconscious. Since the subconscious is so influential, there are various methods that aim to manipulate or reprogram it. Here are some of the best-known techniques. 1. Subliminal messages. Subliminal messages are stimuli that lie below the threshold of conscious perception. These messages can be embedded in media such as advertising or music in the form of images or sounds. Although they are not consciously perceived, they are supposed to influence the subconscious and promote certain behaviors or attitudes. An example would be a short, invisible overlay of "buy now" in a commercial that is intended to increase the urge to buy. 2. Hypnosis. Hypnosis is a state of deep relaxation and increased suggestibility, which is induced by special techniques. In this state, consciousness can be bypassed so that direct communication with the subconscious is possible. Hypnotherapy is often used to change deeply rooted behavioral patterns, overcome fears, or promote positive changes. Through targeted suggestions, new, positive beliefs can be anchored in the subconscious. 3. Positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are repeated, positive statements aimed at replacing negative beliefs in the subconscious. By regularly saying to yourself phrases such as "I am successful and capable" or "I deserve love and happiness," these beliefs can be anchored in the subconscious. This technique uses the power of repetition to reprogram the subconscious and strengthen the self-image. 4. Dream interpretation and active imagination. Dream interpretation and active imagination are techniques developed by Carl Jung to explore and integrate the unconscious. Dreams are seen as messages of the unconscious, which can give indications of unconscious conflicts and desires. Through the analysis of dreams and the conscious imagination of symbols and scenes, hidden contents of the subconscious can be brought to light and processed. Understanding the role of the subconscious and the methods for influencing it can help us to deal more consciously and specifically with our inner processes. Now that we have learned about the power of the subconscious and its manipulation possibilities, we want to devote ourselves next to the meaning and power of habits. Continue to join us on this journey into the depths of the human mind. Habits are powerful patterns of behavior that strongly influence our daily lives. They not only control our actions, but also have a profound influence on our thinking and feeling. In order to gain control over our reality, it is crucial to understand the power of habits and to learn how we can consciously control and change them. How habits control thinking and feeling. Habits are automated behaviors that arise from repeated action. They allow us to perform everyday tasks efficiently without using much cognitive energy. This automation takes place in the basal ganglion area of the brain, which is responsible for controlling habits. Habits influence our thinking and feeling in a subtle but profound way. Positive habits such as regular exercise or healthy eating can lead to positive feelings and thoughts, such as increased well-being and self-confidence. Negative habits such as overeating or smoking, on the other hand, can increase negative feelings such as guilt or dissatisfaction. Our daily routines shape our perception of the world and our self-image by creating the basis for our mental and emotional states. The process of habit formation and change. The process of habit formation can be divided into 3 phases: trigger, cue, routine, routine, and reward, reward. This cycle is often referred to as a habituity loop. 1. Triggerize, cue. This is the signal that causes the brain to switch to automatic mode and perform a certain habit. The trigger can be anything: a certain time, a place, an emotion, or an action. 2. Routine, this is the behavior itself triggered by the trigger. It is the actual action that has become a habit. 3. Reward, this is the positive effect that the brain performs to confirm that the routine is valuable and worth repeating. The reward can be physical, e.g. a feeling of satisfaction, or emotional, e.g. stress reduction. In order to change a habit, we have to interrupt this loop and establish a new routine. This requires awareness and determination, as the brain is accustomed to the existing cycle and changes often cause resistance. Techniques for consciously controlling and changing habits. 1. Identification and awareness. The first step to changing a habit is to identify it and become aware of its trigger, its routine, and its reward. Keep a diary to track your habits and recognize the patterns that trigger them. 2. Setting clear goals. Define clear and specific goals for the desired change. Instead of saying, "I want to watch less TV," set a concrete goal such as, "I will only watch television for 1 hour a day." 3. Gradual changes. Start with small, feasible changes. Instead of making drastic changes immediately, introduce gradual adjustments that are easier to implement. This helps to overcome the resistance of the brain and increase the chances of success. 4. Replacing the routine. Instead of simply stopping a habit, replace the existing routine with a new, positive action. For example, if you want to stop eating unhealthy snacks, replace them with eating fruit or nuts. 5. Use reward systems. Make sure that the new habit also includes a reward. This reward can help you to consolidate the new routine and reduce the desire for the old habit. 6. Looking for support. Surround yourself with people who support you in your change. Tell friends or family members about your goals and ask them for encouragement and feedback. 7. Visualization and affirmations. Use visualization and affirmation techniques to mentally adjust to the new habit. Imagine how you successfully carry out the new routine and repeat positive statements that strengthen your determination. The conscious control and change of habits can have a profound impact on your life. By replacing negative habits with positive ones, you can positively influence your thoughts, feelings, and ultimately your entire reality. Now that we have understood the power of habits, we want to devote ourselves next to the social and cultural influences that shape our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. Continue to accompany us on this fascinating journey into the depths of the human mind. Our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings are strongly influenced by the social and cultural contexts in which we live. These influences shape our beliefs, values, and behaviors and play a decisive role in shaping our reality. The influence of culture and society on perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. Culture and society provide the framework within which we interpret and interact with the world. From birth, we are characterized by social norms, values, and beliefs that shape our view of the world. These cultural and social influences determine what is considered normal, desirable, or acceptable. Our perceptions are filtered by cultural glasses that help us to interpret our experiences. Thoughts and beliefs are shaped by the stories and myths that shape our culture. Feelings are influenced by social expectations and norms that determine which emotions should be expressed or suppressed. Examples of social control. 1. Education system. The education system plays a central role in imparting knowledge and values. It shapes our way of thinking and our view of the world. Curricula and teaching methods often reflect the prevailing cultural and social beliefs and can help to consolidate certain worldviews. For example, an education system that promotes critical thinking can encourage people to question existing beliefs and develop new perspectives. An education system that emphasizes conformity, on the other hand, can lead to people being less inclined to question established norms. 2. Media consumption. Media are a powerful tool for controlling perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. News, movies, TV shows, and social media can shape opinions and manipulate emotions. For example, messages that repeatedly emphasize certain topics can affect our perception of what is important or threatening. Advertising campaigns can make us desire certain products or consider certain lifestyles desirable. Social media platforms can use algorithms to highlight content that strengthen our existing beliefs and promote polarizing emotions. 3. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is another strong influence that can control our thoughts and feelings. People have a natural need for belonging and acceptance, which means that they often adopt the beliefs and behaviors of their social groups. Peer pressure can cause people to adapt their own beliefs and values to adapt and avoid conflicts. This can have both positive and negative effects. While the pressure to adopt healthy behaviors can promote positive changes, the pressure to adopt destructive behaviors can be harmful. Critical analysis of these influences. The social and cultural influences that shape our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings are complex. A critical analysis of these influences requires us to be aware of how they affect our view of the world and our behavior. 1. Recognizing bias. We must be aware of the bias that can be contained in the information and values conveyed to us through education, media, and social interactions. This requires critical thinking and the willingness to examine different perspectives. 2. Questioning norms and beliefs. It is important to question the social norms and cultural beliefs that we take for granted. This means that we analyze the origins and effects of these norms and beliefs and evaluate whether they correspond to our values and goals. 3. Promoting diversity and inclusion. the recognition and appreciation of cultural diversity can help us develop a broader and more nuanced understanding of the world. This promotes empathy and openness to different perspectives and experiences. 4. Self-reflection and personal growth. After all, we have to reflect on ourselves and work to free ourselves from negative or limiting influences. This requires that we become aware of our own beliefs and behaviors and consciously decide which of them we want to maintain and which we want to change. By critically analyzing the social and cultural influences on our perceptions, thoughts and feelings, we can think and act more consciously and independently. Now that we have understood these influences, we want to devote ourselves next to self-reflection and awareness. We will study techniques for self-reflection and mindfulness and learn how to become aware of our own controlled perceptions, thoughts and feelings. Continue to accompany us on this fascinating journey into the depths of the human mind. Self-reflection and awareness are powerful tools that help us to understand and control our inner processes. Through these practices, we can become aware of the influences that shape our perceptions, thoughts and feelings and learn to consciously control them. Techniques for self-reflection and mindfulness. 1. Diary keeping. Keeping a diary is an effective method of self-reflection. Write regularly about your thoughts, feelings and experiences. This helps you to recognize patterns and develop a deeper understanding of your inner processes. Reflect on questions like, what influenced me today? Or, how did I react to certain situations? 2. Meditation. Meditation is a practice that helps you to center and observe your thoughts without evaluating them. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes and focus on your breath. When thoughts appear, realize them, but let them pass without holding on to them. Regular meditation promotes mindfulness and helps you stay in the moment. 3. Guided imagination. This technique, which is often used in Jungian psychology, helps you to explore deeper levels of your consciousness. Imagine a calming scene and let your subconscious produce images and symbols. Write down or draw these symbols and reflect on their meaning in your life. 4. Mindfulness exercises in everyday life. Integrate mindfulness into your daily activities. Be fully present when eating, walking or even washing up. Pay attention to the details of your surroundings, the smells, sounds and sensations. This practice helps you to live more consciously and to be less guided by automatic reactions. How to become aware of your own controlled perceptions, thoughts and feelings. 1. Practicing critical thinking. Ask yourself regularly why you believe or feel certain things. Question the sources of your information and consider whether they may be biased. This helps you to think more consciously about the influences that shape your perception and thoughts. 2. Observe emotions. Take time to observe your emotions and understand when and why they occur. Think about which triggers certain feelings evoke in you and how they affect your thinking. For example, if you feel stressed, ask yourself what caused this stress and how you react to it. 3. Get feedback. Ask friends or family members for honest feedback on your behavior and reactions. Outsiders can often recognize patterns and influences that you may not be aware of yourself. This feedback can help you recognize blind spots and become more aware. Exercises to strengthen one's own consciousness and self-control. 1. Breathing exercises. Breathing exercises can help you to center and stay present at the moment. A simple technique is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds and then exhalate for 8 seconds. This exercise calms the nervous system and promotes mindfulness. 2. Self-observation. Perform a daily self-observation in which you reflect your thoughts and feelings throughout the day. Ask yourself, what thoughts did I often have today? How did I react to challenges? What emotions have I experienced and why? This reflection helps you to deal more consciously with your inner processes. 3. Visualization techniques. Use visualization to imagine how you react consciously and in a controlled manner in certain situations. Imagine how you react calmly to stress or how you consciously choose positive thoughts when negative thoughts appear. These mental exercises strengthen your ability to self-control. 4. Self-care rituals. Develop rituals that help you calm down regularly and focus on yourself. This can be a daily meditation practice, a walk in nature or a relaxing bath. These rituals promote your well-being and strengthen your consciousness and self-control. Through self-reflection and mindfulness, you can develop a deeper understanding of your inner processes and learn to act more consciously and in a controlled manner. Now that we have understood the meaning and techniques of self-reflection and consciousness, we want to focus next on protecting against manipulation. We will investigate strategies and methods to protect ourselves from external influences and to develop a strong, independent mental attitude. Continue to join us on this journey into the depths of the human mind. In a world flooded with information and stimuli, it is crucial to develop strategies to protect yourself from manipulation. Through critical thinking, media literacy, and the development of a strong, independent spiritual attitude, we can better control our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings and act more consciously. Strategies and methods to protect yourself from manipulation. 1. Developing self-confidence. A deep understanding of one's own values, beliefs, and goals is the first step to resist manipulation. By realizing who you are and what you want, you can more easily recognize when someone is trying to influence you in a certain direction. 2. Set boundaries. Learn to recognize and protect your personal boundaries. Be aware of which influences you let into your life and which you don't. Avoid putting yourself in situations where you feel manipulated or uncomfortable and practice saying no if necessary. 3. Diversify sources of information. Do not rely on a single source of information. Search for different perspectives and question the motives behind the presented content. This helps you to get a more comprehensive picture and to be less susceptible to one-sided or manipulative representations. 4. Practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you to stay present in the moment and consciously perceive your reactions. By observing your thoughts and feelings without reacting immediately, you can recognize and question manipulation attempts before you respond to them. Critical thinking and media literacy. 1. Ask questions. Critical thinking begins with the ability to ask questions. If you receive information, ask yourself, who said that? What is the evidence? Are there alternative perspectives? Why am I being told this now? These questions help you to evaluate the credibility and motives behind the information. 2. Check facts. Check the facts before accepting or passing on information. Use trusted sources and compare different reports to ensure that the information is correct and complete. 3. Conscious media consumption. Develop a critical attitude towards the media you consume. Be aware of the techniques used in advertising, news, and social media to arouse emotions and shape beliefs. Pay attention to clickbait titles, emotional language, and visual manipulations. 4. Reflect on your reactions. Pay attention to how you react to certain information. If you experience strong emotional reactions, ask yourself why these emotions were caused and whether they were based on objective information or whether they were manipulated. Building a strong, independent mental attitude. 1. Self-reflection and personal growth. Regular self-reflection helps you to understand and question your own beliefs and behaviors. Work on recognizing negative thought patterns and replacing them with positive, self-determined beliefs. 2. Education and continuous learning. Education is a powerful tool against manipulation. Learn about psychology, sociology, and other relevant areas to develop a deeper understanding of how people can be influenced. Continuous learning strengthens your ability to think critically and recognize attempts at manipulation. 3. Strengthening self-esteem. A strong self-esteem makes you more resistant to manipulation. Work to strengthen your self-confidence and self-esteem by using positive affirmations, nurturing yourself and celebrating your successes. 4. Build supportive networks. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage you to think critically and act independently. A strong social network offers you emotional support and can help you to recognize and resist manipulation attempts from the outside. By using these strategies and methods, you can better protect yourself from manipulation and develop a strong, independent mental attitude. This allows you to act more consciously and self-determined and to actively shape your perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. Now that we have understood the strategies for protection against manipulation, we want to look at inspiring success stories next. These stories show how people have successfully controlled their perceptions, thoughts, and feelings to bring about positive changes in their lives. Continue to join us on this journey into the depths of the human mind. Success stories of people who have successfully controlled their perceptions, thoughts, and feelings can be a great inspiration and motivation. These stories show that it is possible to consciously organize one's own life and bring about positive changes. Let's look at some examples and analyze the techniques and strategies that have led to their success. Example 1. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most famous media personalities in the world, is an outstanding example of someone who has successfully controlled his perceptions, thoughts, and feelings despite adverse circumstances. Growing up in poverty and faced with numerous challenges, Oprah used the power of visualization and positive affirmations to realize her dreams. She regularly imagined her success and repeated positive statements about her value and abilities. Through hard work, determination, and the conscious use of these techniques, she created a successful career as a talk show presenter, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Example 2. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, the famous actor and comedian, used the technique of visualization to achieve his career goals. In the early 1990s, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting and dated him on Thanksgiving 1995. Carrey constantly carried this check with him and visualized himself as a successful actor who earns this amount. Through this technique and his hard work, he received the leading role in Dumb and Dumber in 1994, for which he actually received $10 million. Jim's story shows that visualization, combined with determination and hard work, can lead to amazing results. Example 3, J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books, struggled with financial difficulties and personal setbacks for a long time before she had her breakthrough. Rowling regularly wrote down positive affirmations and visualized the success of her books. Despite many rejections by publishers, she stuck to her dream and continued her visualization and affirmation techniques. Her perseverance and belief in her vision eventually led to her books being published and successful worldwide. Rowling's story is an impressive example of how important it is to stick to his dreams despite setbacks and apply the right mental techniques. Analysis of the techniques and strategies used. 1. Visualization. All three personalities used the technique of visualization to vividly imagine their desired results. This mental exercise helped them to program their subconscious for success and to clearly define their goals. 2. Positive affirmations. By repeating positive statements, they strengthened their self-confidence and determination. Affirmations helped them overcome negative beliefs and maintain a positive mental attitude. 3. Perseverance and determination. Despite many setbacks and challenges, they did not give up. Their determination and belief in their visions continued to drive them until they achieved their goals. 4. Focusing on clear goals. These individuals had clear, specific goals that they consistently pursued. They knew exactly what they wanted to achieve and worked hard to realize these goals. These success stories are intended to encourage and motivate you to believe in your own dreams and to use the techniques of visualization and affirmations in your life. No matter what challenges you are currently experiencing, you have the strength to change your reality and achieve your goals. Use the tools and strategies we discussed in this video and start turning your dreams into reality. Now that you have heard of inspiring success stories, let's finally summarize the most important points and give a call for action. Join us on to the final word and call for action. We have arrived at the end of our journey through the fascinating techniques for conscious realizing reality. Let's summarize the most important points again to give you a clear overview of how you can take control of your life. You have learned that reality is not only what is happening around us, but also what we create through our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. We have explored the concept of subjective perception and the power of the subconscious. We have learned visualizations and affirmations as powerful tools to reprogram our subconscious and manifest our goals. The importance of controlling emotions was emphasized, as well as the techniques of mindfulness and presence to stay in the moment and make conscious decisions. We have examined the role of clear goals in controlling reality and learned how SMART goals can help us develop concrete plans and implement them consistently. Challenges and obstacles are part of the path, and we have discussed strategies to deal with self-doubt and negative thoughts and maintain our motivation. Inspiring success stories have shown that it is possible to bring about big changes if you act decisively and use the right techniques. Further resources and literature offer you the opportunity to deepen your knowledge and use practical tools. Finally, we emphasize the importance of a supportive environment and strong communities that can help you achieve your goals and live a fulfilling life. Now it's up to you to try out the techniques we discussed and to practice regularly. The path to conscious realism requires patience, determination, and continuous effort. But the rewards are enormous, a life that you actively shape, filled with joy, fulfillment, and success. We encourage you to integrate these techniques into your everyday life and share your experiences with us. Leave a comment and tell us which techniques work best for you and what changes you already notice. Your feedback is important to us and helps us to continue to create valuable content. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any more inspiring content. Also activate the notifications so that you always stay up to date when we upload new videos. Together we can build a strong community and walk the path to self-knowledge and self-realization together. Thank you for taking this trip with us. May your higher self always guide you and give you the wisdom to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. Until next time, stay in touch with us and your true self.